What's going on, guys? Ronan here. Welcome back to the channel. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying the PWC rewrite up until this point. But if you guys haven't seen the other parts already, I'm going to link it in the iCard above because it's really important that you go back and watch that, because parts 1 through 5 are the first official season, if you will, of the PWC rewrite. Because today we get the chance to start on a whole new adventure heading to a whole new region. But before we get into that, I need you guys to take a look at this analytical stat bar right here. You guys already know the drill. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't forget to drop a comment to feed the algorithm. But with all that being said, let's get into what if Ash won the PWC Advanced Journeys Season 2 Part 1. I hope you enjoy. Eons in the distant past, we see a familiar shadow of doom as it lurks through the vast expanse of outer space. By the Creator's will, the Eternal Prison was never meant to be seen by any living creature or celestial body. However, when life and chance are left to grow on their own, even the best laid plans will come to an end. We see this in the very instance when the Eternal Prison finds itself on a collision course with one of the many entities we find in this expansive void, what we modern humans would call a comet. While the prison itself is massive and rivals most things in the expanse, natural evolution has allowed this comet to grow in mass and energy over the time since creation began. The two are on a collision course that, unless there is some outside intervention, will change the course of this universe forever. However, there is no such luck as the two titanic bodies collide, battling for supremacy. While the comet is large, the prison was created to remain unbroken at all costs. In a great explosion of energy, the comet loses the struggle between the two behemoths. But what emerges from the struggle is something unexpected. While the prison remains intact and its contents are still subdued, a few massive pieces that house only rocks and minerals break off as they absorb the energy of the comet, creating an entirely new entity in its whole. The two chance encounters, now with their destinations changed, continue on their new paths. We now find ourselves 100 million years in the past as we view the place we call home from the heavens above. It is here we find a visitor that within the last few million years has started paying this planet a visit every 1,000 years or so. While this comet doesn't really interact with the planet Earth alongside one creature that absorbs its energy from the celestial visitor, this time is different. The comet has arrived at a very unfortunate time as the avatars of land and sea find themselves battling it out for dominance in the eternal clash of elements. While this normally would end in a stalemate, this time something happens. The radiation that exudes from the comet catches the Titans' attention as it is absorbed by a creature that feeds off of it. The Titans are suddenly hit with a new sensation, an ancient power they haven't felt in eons. The energy from the comet causes them to transform, reverting to a primal state. This increase in power causes the gravitational pull of the planet to briefly influence the comet, pulling one of the pieces that live in its tail in the direction of the planet. Now the planet is threatened, as this body is pretty massive in size. Luckily, the guardian of the sky, Rayquaza, is here to protect our world. As the dragon begins its assault of the intruder of its territory, its body begins to react in a way that it has never felt before. The energy from this rock causes it to change in a way that has never been experienced before, taking on a new power that allows it to break the rock into two pieces. One falls to Earth, while the other is brought to a halt in the orbit of our planet. Its energy is still pulsating, and Rayquaza doesn't like this thing in its territory. In a display of dominance, the dragon shatters the rock, peppering the land below with its remnants. As the dragon looks down, satisfied with the work it has done, an explosion the size of a region goes off below it. Knowing its charge, Rayquaza darts to the surface, only to witness the part of the rock that fell to the ground. It was attracted to the land of the creature that feeds off of his energy, but it is not alone, as the primal Groudon and Kyogre have converged on this area. They seek the power of the rock to gain the upper hand in their eternal rivalry, but their power is upsetting the balance of the planet and this region. Life is becoming unstable. Seeing the side effects of this radiation, Rayquaza reacts, shattering the rock as the creature known as Jirachi, now overloaded with energy, retreats into the earth in an attempt to sleep off its oversaturation. This leaves the three titans of Earth, Water, and Sky to face off in a battle that ultimately results in Groudon and Kyogre expending their new energies and retreating to a slumber and defeat, while Rayquaza, now back in its true form, returns to the sky satisfied that it has established its supremacy. However, there is an unforeseen result from all of these events. Two more pieces in the tail of the comet broke off and are now on their own path. But there is one thing to remember: what leaves the Earth eventually makes its way back. Now we find ourselves 10,000 years before the modern day. The humans of the ancient Hoenn region have discovered the piece of the eternal prison that fell to Earth 10,000 years prior. They revere the power of this giant stone that exudes the power to transform the creatures they coexist that we know as Pokemon. Stories have been passed down through the generations how this stone has the power to influence the behavior of the super ancient Pokemon, responsible for the creation of land and sea. So in order to protect it, they build a secret place to hide the stone and its power so Groudon and Kyogre would never seek it again. Unfortunately, with the interference of modern man, a chain of events has been set in motion that cannot be stopped. As with the return of the Millennium Comet and the rediscovery of the stone, the super ancient Pokemon have now awakened twice in less than a decade. They seek the power that has been long since denied. A prime lurge has consumed them, and they now seek the power that will finally bring their eternal struggle to an end. We begin today's episode with our heroes Ash, Go, and Chloe as they find themselves making a brief stop on the way back to Galar on the island city of Altomare. The trio have come here at the request of Ash as he wants to catch up with an old friend. However, the identity of this person has been concealed from his friends as our hero wants it to be a surprise. This ticks Go off a bit as he thought they were over this. As the trio leaves the boat, Go is yelling at Ash that he thought they were over this whole secrets thing, but Ash simply chuckles, telling Go that he will find out really soon why he wants to keep it a secret. Go continues to yell at Ash as Chloe and Eevee watch. While Eevee is a bit confused at this relationship between the two, Chloe just smiles, happy that Go has finally found somebody other than her to call a friend. This is when a set of glowing eyes appears behind Ash, scaring Go. "Hey, that's not funny," Go says. "Haunter, I told you not to do that anymore." The ghost type just cackles, revealing itself while Ash laughs. "Hey, isn't a Pokemon supposed to stay in its Pokeball when it's recalled?" Go asks. "Oh, come on, Haunter's not hurting anyone, and besides, I'm not going to force it to stay. If it wants to come out, then I'm more than happy to let it, if that's what makes Haunter happy. Right, buddy?" Ash says. It just cackles once more before returning to its ball, much to Go's relief. However, this feeling is quickly replaced with one of anger as another set of eyes appear behind Ash. "Not again, Haunter," Go yells. "I told you to stop trying to scare me." Go, I don't think that's Haunter," Chloe says, as several eyes begin to appear all around them. "What is this?" Go says, now terrified. But Ash and Pikachu seem to be unfazed, as he says, "You guys are in for a fun time before a flash consumes all of our heroes, leaving the beach empty." Moments later, Go and Chloe find themselves in a very lush garden. It is here that they see a girl sitting on a swing, to which Go runs towards her, asking if she knows where they are. Unfortunately, this doesn't get the response that Go was hoping for, as the girl jumps off demanding to know who these two are and how they got into the Eon Garden. This stops Go in his tracks, while Chloe and Eevee catch up with their friend. Go is unsure on how to respond to this question, as he's not really sure, but Chloe is able to make sense of the situation when she explains that they were here with their friend Ash, and then they ended up here. "Wait, you guys know Ash? As in Ash Ketchum?" "Yeah, he's a friend of ours, and now we don't know where he is." This causes the mood to change with the girl as she introduces herself as Bianca, as she's the overseer of the garden and its inhabitants. She also explains that if Ash is here in Altomare, then they may want to get comfortable, cause he won't be back for a while. This leaves a stumped look on Go and Chloe's face as we find ourselves changing views to above the city. Here, we see a very familiar sight. Ash and Pikachu are getting the spectacular special tour of Altomare by an old friend, Latias. "Wow, nothing's changed," our young hero says. "Latias, it seems like you've grown up since the last time we met. You're so strong." The young Pokemon demonstrates its new power with the ability to carry Ash and Pikachu higher and faster than ever before. The three are having a great time catching up, but Ash asks the questions where his friends are. While Latias is enjoying the reunion, it understands that they will have to return, so Latias bolts as fast as possible, disappearing in a streak of light as the sun sets on the horizon. Moments later, Ash finds himself back in the Eon Garden with Go, Chloe, and Bianca. "Hey," Ash says, "are you guys okay?" But they are more worried about Ash as they see him on the back of a Latias. Go uses his Pokedex to get the information on this Pokemon, learning that it's a legendary status. Wow, just how many legendary Pokemon has Ash met over his travels? But this thought is interrupted by Bianca and Ash catching up. He asks how her grandfather is, but this gets a somber response. Grandpa passed away a few years back, so was just me to look after everyone, Bianca says. I'm sorry, Ash replies. He was a good man. But this is where Chloe asks Bianca what she means by everyone. Oh, the young ones, she says. It's okay, you all can come out now. It takes a moment, but all the eyes begin to appear again, terrifying Go. But this is quickly changed when more Latios begin to appear. Then one single Pokemon that looks similar but is clad in blue. So there is another Latios as well, Ash asks. Yeah, but he's the youngest of the group and a bit stubborn, kind of like a certain trainer I know, Bianca replies. They both laugh while Go and Chloe study the herd of the Eon Pokemon. Go especially is interested in Latios, as it seems to be distant from everyone, observing cautiously. This is where Ash asks the big question. While he rubs Latios on the head, he inquires about the Soldew, asking if it's still safe. Bianca nods, telling Ash that it's in the same place it always is, pointing to the bowl of water. Ash walks to it, peering over the edge. What's this? Go questions. Ash goes on to explain the events of the last time he was here, and how Latios, the brother of Latios, sacrificed itself to save everyone. This is what remains of its life force. If it were to ever fall in the wrong hands, then bad things could happen. Ash smiles at the glowing orb, to which a small but brief surge of energy sparks from it, almost to say hi. While this goes unnoticed by most, Latios is able to feel this, causing it to focus and lock on to Ash, wondering just who this boy is. The rest of the night the group plays, spending time with the jet-like Latios, building new memories that will last a lifetime. Before long, the morning comes and it's time for Ash and his friends to leave Altomare. As they board the boat, Go and Chloe get one last surprise as they see two Biancas standing on the beach waving them off. Wait, she has a twin, Go says? Oh no, that's Latios, Ash responds. One of its powers is to cast illusions. Latios loves to look like Bianca when it's out in plain view of the public. Wow, Pokemon really are something, Go says, as the boat disappears from view over Altomare. However, there is one blue Eon Pokemon that hovers above the island, debating with itself about its own curiosity. Hours later, we find the group on a train heading south through the wild area of the Galar region. Chloe can't wait to get home, as she misses her bed, her mom, and her brother. You know, Ash says, your dad does care about you. Yeah, I know, but things have been so awkward between us since the move. And now I've been away for over a month, things will be weird when I get back. I don't even know what to say to him. While I am mad about us moving to the southern part of Galar, I see that it's not that bad. After all, I never would have met you and Eevee as well. Well, maybe you can start by introducing Eevee, Ash says. It's evolutionary constraints, maybe something your dad is interested in studying. You think so, she responds? To which Ash confirms that the professor is a lot like his dad. Always busy, but willing to do anything to spend time with Ash whenever it's really needed. Chloe smiles as the train rides off into the distance. Soon, the group finds themselves back at Cerise Labs. The professor is happy to see everyone, especially Chloe. You've grown up a little since the last time I saw you, he says, but I'm glad you're back. This is where Chloe asks what Ash suggested, to which the professor agrees that they can start immediately. While they talk, Ash decides to give Professor Oak a call. It's time to change out some of his Pokemon and check up on his egg, as it's been his bag the whole trip back. While this is happening, Go decides to head outside to show Scorbunny and Dragonite around the lab, as this is their first time here. However, they are met by a very mysterious sight. Back with Ash, he is on the phone with Oak. The Pokemon he is keeping with him are going to be Pikachu and Haunter, but the other 4 slots are going to be Staraptor, Torterra, Pignite, and Glalie. Then Ash shows Professor the new egg. Oak asks if Ash knows what is inside. While he has a suspicion, the meaning of which this egg was obtained is very mysterious, so he still has his doubts, but he will keep the professor informed of any changes. With that, they end the call, to which Chloe comes in asking if Ash has seen Go. I think he went outside, Ash responds, to which they both proceed to go out and look for the boy. Back out with Go, he finds himself staring down a strange Pokemon. However, the only one that can see it is Go. His Pokemon are wondering if he's okay, as the boy is just staring into space. However, this is quickly interrupted when Ash and Chloe call his name. The Pokemon he sees vanishes, leaving Go in a state of confusion. Hey, is everything okay? Ash asks. Yeah, he says. Fine. Just seeing things. Well, come on, Chloe says. Dad has another assignment for you, and he's waiting inside. Coming, Go replies, giving one last look at the area before heading inside. Once inside, the professor tells Go that he's happy with all of the progress that they have made over the last few weeks. The data that he and Ash has been able to gather has shown the Dynamax isn't just confined to the Galar region, but I've come to believe that there have been some discoveries made recently inside of our home region. The professor thinks that he has the next assignment for Go, but he tells Ash that he may want to be part of this, as there have been a lot of evidence that suggests a Melmetal may be involved in these recent discoveries. Does this have anything to do with that picture you showed us when we were going to the ruins of Pokeopolis? That's correct, Ray says. I want you guys to go to a town called Turffield. The ruins there may offer some clues to Melmetal and its origins. Ash says he will go, Go, but he has a request for the professor. Pulling out the stone that Go found out of his bag, Ash asks if Go can accompany him to the Hoenn region after they finish in Turffield. The stone is something that he thinks he's seen before, but there's a scientist that he thinks can identify if it is or not. Cerise tells the duo that it won't be a problem at all. He's showing interest in the stone as well, since there's a slight hint of radiation that the stone gives off. So, are you ready for more adventures, Ash says. Go smiles, telling his friends that he wouldn't have it any other way. This is where Chloe's mom comes in with the pet of the house, Yamper, telling everyone dinner is ready, so they should go wash up. The rest of the night is spent relaxing and preparing for the next journey ahead. The next morning, after a good breakfast and some last-minute goodbyes, Ash and Go are back on the road, walking to the train station. Once they arrive, there is a train unloading passengers that are here to visit the Crown Tundra. While most of them are of no interest, one duo, a father and daughter combination, find themselves arguing as they get off the train. The girl says she didn't want to spend her week off from school exploring the wilderness with her dad, to which the big burly man pleads with her that this is one of the only times they will get to spend together, so let's make the most of it. As our heroes board the train, they can't help but to be reminded of Chloe and the professor. On the train ride, Ash asks who they are supposed to meet in this town called Turffield. Go replies that her name is Sonia. She is supposed to be an expert on the history of the Galar region. Well, that's good, Ash says. Hopefully she will be able to help us in unlocking the secrets of Melmetal. Right, Go says, as he begins to study the layout of Turffield so they can be as efficient as possible when they arrive. While he studies, Ash and Pikachu wander the train, only to catch a battle on the TV in the dining car. It's Flint and another trainer that Ash doesn't know. They are having a masterclass battle for the top 8 position. It looks like Flint isn't doing too good, Ash says, as his Infernape falls to a Pokemon that Ash has never seen before. The announcer identifies the new recruits as Raihan and Duraludon, the newest members of the Masters 8. Wow. It seems even the Masters 8 is always in danger of losing their positions. Even someone as strong as Flint, who Ash never could beat, wasn't able to maintain his status. Well, that just means we have to work that much harder, right, Pikachu? The mouse sparks confident in its abilities as the train rolls through the wild area. A few hours later, Ash and Go arrive at their destination. The two quickly make their way to the dig site, getting the chance to see a lot of the ruins along the way. While the two enjoy the walk among the tombstones, they quickly find themselves staring down a massive area that has been roped off to the public. However, there is a young girl that addresses the duo if they are Ash and Go. The two confirm, to which the girl introduces herself as Sonia. So why don't you come down so I can show you what we have found? Now excited, the two run down the pathway, eager at this prospect. Unfortunately, the two find themselves at the bottom of the dig site, comically out of breath, leaving Sonia chuckling at the energy of these two. This chuckling causes a reaction from Ash's Pokeball as Haunter pops from its ball to offer its assistance in the funny of the situation with the bomb that it throws at Go. The boy can do nothing but yell at the ghost type as a small explosion goes off, leaving the boy a little singed. Go yells at the Mon, only for it and Ash to laugh. Come on, Go, Haunter didn't mean any harm by it. Anyway, Sonia, Professor Cerise says you may have some stuff that may be tied to my Melmetal, Ash says. Yes, that's right, follow me. Sonia leads the boy to a hillside that has a carving of what looks like a very large man on it. Sonia explains that she studies something called the Darkest Day. These carvings date back to that event. For the longest time, it was thought that this carving was one of a man, but with the new information that was sent to my grandmother about the Gigantamax of your Melmetal, things have changed. Take a look at this, Sonia says, as she holds up a picture of the carving and Melmetal next to each other. They are identical, Go responds. That's right. It's my belief that this is an ancient Melmetal that appeared during the Darkest Day. What do you mean by the Darkest Day, Go asks. Well, it's said that there have been several different Darkest Days throughout the history of the Galar region. This carving is more than 2,000 years old, but we have confirmed one of the Darkest Days that had happened as recently as 1,000 years ago. So I think that it happens in cycles, but I don't really know what it is or the cause of it. Well, is there anything that you do know, Ash questions. With a smile, Sonia says, I was hoping you would ask. Please, follow me. The girl leads the duo with Pikachu and Haunter down a flight of stairs into a chamber that depicts the site of an ancient catastrophe. Wow, this is amazing, Go and Ash say, to which Sonia responds by saying that this is what she calls the Hall of Darkest Days. She states that the deeper they go, the more battles are depicted. Well, which is the darkest day, Ash questions. All of them, Sonia responds. As they reach the bottom of the long, winding stairs, our heroes find themselves inside of a chamber with an altar at the far end. What is this place, the boys say in tandem. Sonia explains that this chamber is said to house a secret of the darkest day. You see that altar over there? Look at it closely. That box there is said to be a relic of the darkest day, but we don't know if it's something that could cause the darkest day or something that will help with the darkest day. While Sonia talks with our heroes, a very mischievous ghost has taken an interest in the altar. Hunter has made its way over to it, very curious about the box. However, it does not exercise the same caution as Sonia does, lifting the box off the altar and bringing it to Ash. "Oh, thanks," he says, but Sonia immediately stops her lecture with a stutter and a look of horror on her face. Realizing what he had just been given, our heroes turn as Hunter cackles, amused at their reactions, only to stop when the room starts to shake. The floor that is beneath them begins to move, causing everyone to jump to the side. Then, from within the floor, what looks like a giant Pokemon egg appears. "That's huge," Ghost says. "Is that an actual egg?" "It seems to be," Sonia responds. "It's said that there was a guardian here to protect the ruins from robbers. This must be the treasure that they were supposed to be protected. But it doesn't make any sense," she says. "If there is a treasure, then where is the guardian?" But this question is about to get answered as the egg begins to hatch. As Ash tells the two they need to get ready, something is coming out. "This is it," Ghost says. "Hey Ash, do you remember that boy Quillen back when we were at the ruins of Pokemopolis? Strange time to bring that up, but yeah, I do. Why?" "Well, one of the things he talked about was a raid battle. He said they tend to happen in ancient ruins. The Pokemon are really strong." "Is that so?" Ash says. "Well, then it looks like we're gonna have a battle on our hands then. Pikachu, Haunter, get ready," Ash says. Ghost sends out both Scorbunny and Dragonite, and Sonia, not wanting anything to get damaged, sends out her very small electric-type Yamper. With a cackle from Haunter to signal the start of the raid, the Pokemon is revealed to be an oversized Golurk that appears from the egg. This is where Sonia puts things together, saying Golurk is the guardian of the ruins. The box is what it was protecting. That means it will do anything it has to fill its charge. This is shown when the Golem makes its first move with a flash cannon at Ash as he holds the box from the altar. But our hero is on it, ordering a Shadow Ball from Haunter and an Iron Tail from Pikachu. While the mouse executes the command, Haunter seems to have disappeared again, leaving it to fend off the attack. It's able to do so, but is consumed by the flash cannon. This leaves Pikachu hurting badly, with Ash dropping the box to tend to his starter. Now with its attention on the box, Go has Scorbunny and Dragonite engage with the Ghost type to protect Ash. This allows Ash to get Pikachu out of the way. Then he begins to wonder where Haunter is, to which the Ghost type suddenly appears with a brief cackle, thinking it's a funny joke. But Ash isn't having it. He was hoping that Haunter had matured a little bit since the last time they battled together, but he realizes that it hasn't really grown up at all, and is a bit angered by this. This catches the Ghost type's attention, because Ash is normally the first one to laugh at all of its pranks, but this time is nothing. Haunter then tries again, going for its favorite move, pulling a bomb out of its mouth, but Ash quickly puts the wick out on it, telling Haunter that this is not the time and he is not in the mood. If it hasn't noticed, Pikachu got hurt because it wasn't there to back up its teammate. Since you seem to never want a battle, why don't you just take care of Pikachu, so that way I can take care of this threat? Ash then turns his attention to Golurk, leaving Haunter to wonder about what it was just told. Over with the others, it's come down to just Go and Dragonite against Golurk. Scorbunny and Yamper have been knocked out, and Go isn't sure how much longer Dragonite can last, as it's not exactly the battling type. This comes to a head when the Golurk lands a hammer arm on the head of Dragonite, causing things to go a little bit hazy, as a flash cannon seemingly brings its time in the battle to an end. But this Titan isn't getting off that easily, as Ash declares, "Torterra, I choose you." The Continental Turtle emerges from its ball, using its size to rival Golurk. "Now use Leaf Storm," Ash calls. This catches Haunter's attention, as it looks after Pikachu. While the mouse is hurt, it won't stay down, shuffling to its feet and charging with an Iron Tail. Pikachu jumps in to absorb a hammer arm that was coming down on the head of Torterra. Haunter watches this, and something finally clicks with the Ghost type in its head. While Ash is the same person that it met so many years ago, he has grown a lot. All of his Pokemon have grown by being a team, while the Ghost type has done nothing but fool around the whole time. Ash was out in the world getting stronger while it did nothing. Then it remembers a conversation that it once had with Sabrina before it had left the gym. The Psychic had told Haunter that it has great potential, possibly the greatest of any Ghost type that she had ever seen, but for whatever reason, it chooses not to embrace its strength. It won't be able to do this forever. Life is built on relationships. Look at the relationship she has with it. That wouldn't have happened unless Ash had come to challenge her. Haunter wouldn't have come into her life, allowing them to develop their relationship. However, your choice to always fool around will get someone hurt one day. I hope it never comes, as the memory fades. Then Haunter remembers the day that its trainer abandoned it. Haunter had really enjoyed his company, as they had a lot of fun, but it remembers that trainer kept losing at the Vermilion Gym. The Ghost type recollects the trainer telling it that if it would just stick around in battle, then he would be able to beat that trainer Cruz no problem. But Haunter is so concerned with being the life of the party, it doesn't consider its friends. This is what ultimately led to the trainer abandoning Haunter in that old house. Haunter has chased off everyone that it would consider its friend. Now Ash, the first human to ever really care about it, seems mad. It's at this moment the ghost type chooses to no longer sit on the sidelines and be the joke of the battle. It's just in time as Pikachu is overpowered by Golurk and its hammer arm as the mouse is driven into the ground. Golurk then charges a flash cannon to fire at the rodent. Unfortunately, Dragonite and Torterra are unable to intercept in time, allowing for it to connect. Pikachu, Ash yells, but a cackling can be heard in the smoke as Haunter bursts with a shadow ball that hits Golurk. Haunter then emerges with Pikachu, bringing it to Ash's side. What, does this mean you want to finally battle, Ash questions? To which the ghost type confirms. Smiling, okay Haunter, let's do this. Use Shadow Ball. This is where we pan out to Go as he is tending to Dragonite and Scorbunny. Look, there goes Ash again. I really wanted to be the one to win this battle, but it seems we're just not ready for anything this high level. The dragon type looks at its trainer. While it's not particularly fond of battling, it can feel that if it battles here, then it will make Go happy. This toughens the dragon's resolve as it stands once again. Dragonite, can you still battle? Go asks. It smirks as it bolts down in the direction of Golurk. The dragon begins with a hurricane that strikes Golurk, sending the guardian into a wall. This allows Haunter to follow up with an ice punch that freezes the giant to the wall. Great job, Haunter, Ash says. Let's finish this with a Shadow Ball. Dragonite, use Hurricane, Go orders. With the combination attack of these two, they drive the battle-ending blow. This is my chance, Go thinks. Pokeball, go! The researcher throws the ball, capturing Golem finally, bringing this day to an end. As the ball shakes its last, Go picks it up with a strange feeling washing over him. Yep, I'll never forget that, Ash says. The feeling of your first actual catch that you had to battle to get. Go smiles, looking at the ball. With the danger now finished, Sonia is able to examine the new chamber that Golurk had been hidden in. There is a lot to look over and so much to do now. So Sonia decides to call it a day, as her and the boys decide to head to the Pokemon Center for the night. Later, after Ash gets Pikachu, Haunter, and Torterra looked at, he takes a moment to tell the ghost type he's sorry. He never meant to snap at it like that, and he shouldn't have done it. In response, Haunter vanishes, only to reappear with a bomb that explodes, signaling that the ghost type understands it's finally ready to be part of something more than just itself. This leaves Go and his Pokemon as Nurse Joy tells him that they will all be fine. He should be happy as the Golurk that he caught is very rare. It's a shiny of its species, so count yourself lucky. This leaves Go searching through his Pokédex, amazed by the differences in Pokemon. The next morning, Ash and Go are preparing to leave when Sonia and a person they have never met comes to the Pokemon Center. He is introduced as Milo, the leader of the Turffield gym. Sonia has some important information about the ruins, but she is interrupted by Ash and Milo's phones going off and a Rotom ref hovering above. And that is where we are going to leave things for now. So tell me, how did you feel about this part? Did you enjoy the experience with Ash and his visit to Altomare? How are things going to play out now that Haunter has finally decided to join Ash as a valid member of his team? And who will win the battle between Ash and Milo? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's all we had for today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch all the way to the end, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. If you guys really enjoy my content, consider following me on some of my other platforms like Discord, where you can get to know other people who are interested in what ifs, or on Twitter, where I post sometimes behind the scenes updates. Or if you want to help the channel grow a little bit extra, why don't you consider donating like the people right here have, as whatever you could offer could help us get to a larger audience by helping us get new videos done, or some of the projects that or custom art is getting kind of expensive. So we want to make sure that we have the funds to do that. But with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you in the next video.